my friends, and welcome to episode 44 of the Kiss Army Nation podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Pasquale Veri.
And I'm Claudio Pera. Welcome to the show, everyone.
So, our first fan profile of 2022 is on Jeff Cesare, who describes himself on Facebook as a big, goofy guy. Yeah, a big, goofy guy with a big heart, a big personality, and so much fun to hang out with. I could definitely attest to that from the Kiss Cruises. So this episode will focus on the goofy stories of Jeff Cesare. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hi, guys. How you guys
doing? Yay! Welcome, Jeff. Yeah, so Jeff, so let's begin by setting up, the foundation of your goofy stories. That's, I had a lot of goofy stories. Right. So how did you get into Kiss first to start with?
I was 7 years old, and my next door neighbor had the Kiss Alive album, plus I think Destroyer, and posters, and I saw them, and I'm like, wow, these guys are superheroes. So, and I listened to it. I didn't understand the lyrics. I, love Gun. I'm like, as a kid, but I just love the sound and the makeup and the fire and everything. And I was just like, wow, these guys are so cool. Mm-hmm. And bought whatever albums, I can't remember exactly. And then, that was it. I was hooked. Anything Kiss, the comic book I bought, the toys I bought, and then my brother too. And then we would dress up in the makeup. And I don't know if you guys remember Mr. Bill. We did a Mr. Bill meets Kiss, so we had all that, and we had blood fall on Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill's a Play-Doh guy from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And then my first. Oh wait, am I going to it? Because my first concert was Dynasty in 1979. My parents took my brother and myself to it, and they loved it. They thought it was like a circus and that, and I just been a fan since I've been 7 years old. And
wow.
Like I said, I collect the comics, I collect the toys, I got the guitars.
Love it. So I know that we know that you've been to many Kiss related events. Can you recall which ones you attended? The most memorable experiences you had?
Well, okay, like I said, Dynasty in 79, Creatures of the Night with Eric Carr with the Tank drum kit was unbelievable. He did the drum solo and he blew up the speakers. I'm sitting there, I'm 12 years old, just, and then I saw Lick It Up, I saw Animalize, Asylum, Crazy Nights. I've seen every concert from 79 on except for a couple, but if they were in the Chicagoland area, I would see them. Like the reunion tour, my brother and I saw that 7 times. Psycho Circus, we saw that 7 times. Farewell tour 7 times.
Oh my God.
If you count the cruises, which I don't know, can you really count the cruises as a concert? Technically.
Well, they're Kiss related events,
I do.
For sure. Yeah.
I went to the Kiss convention in 95. I've met Gene when he did a book signing. I met Paul at a book signing.
I know it's hard, but if you have to pick one Kiss experience, which one would that be?
The biggest one was in 2004 when my mom bought for my brother and myself for our birthday Christmas present was the front row and backstage meet and greet.
Oh wow.
So back in 2004, that was with Tommy and Eric. And I went up to Gene and I was like, Santa Claus is real. I was almost in tears. I was just, wow. And he's like, you guys mean so much to me. Because back in 96, my dad died. He had a heart attack and I had to pull the plug. And I hit rock bottom. I'm talking, and I came up with reasons to live. And number one was always meet a girl, get married, have kids. That hasn't happened yet. But the number 2 or 4, if you say, Brooklyn, was to meet Kiss.
Okay.
And I told Gene, him that story. I'm like, to meet you guys was on that list of reasons to live. Plus, like back in the 90s, the Bulls are winning championships, and I wanted to see that. I wanted to see the Blackhawks and the Sox and the Cubs. So, the list kind of went from really high priority to lower priorities. And when I told Gene that, I started to tear up, and I could almost, because I'm thinking about my dad, and my dad, when he was told to meet the teachers at school about taking me and my brother to see Kiss was wrong, he was like, "How dare you tell me how to raise my kids?" Wow. I told him that awesome. This was for fun. You're not going to go home and spit blood. You're not going to go home and blow out fire. So he went off at the school. But so when I was telling Gene that I hit rock bottom and Kiss was a reason to keep going, he was like, "I'm honored and humbled that you think so highly of us that way." And he gave me a hug, and I was crying. And then Paul's, "What's up?" And then he goes, "Well, his dad died," and he puts on and then Paul gave me a hug and said, "Thank you so much for thinking of us that way." And then Eric and Tommy, kind of jumped in as well. And, I was just trying to wipe away the tears. I'm like, it's just, I've loved you guys since I've been 7 years old. And I always will. And just, you guys, you just can't imagine what it's like for me to meet you. Like, it's a kid meeting Santa Claus. And then on the cruise, like, Paul and Gene kind of remembered me. It's like, because there's a picture of me sticking my tongue out, and Gene is pointing at me and goes, "Hey, don't steal my job." And Gene, when I stuck my tongue out, he's like, "Were you the guy in Chicago?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "I remember you."
Oh, wow.
So it was just, it just blew my mind. And how nice Gene and Paul have been to me, and, the whole band, Eric, because then that goes with Kevin. Kevin's got his Fans of Eric Singer, and I designed the shirt. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It says Fans of Eric Singer, and then on the back it says Eric Singer Army. I could probably dig out the shirt. I should have done that, damn. And I met Eric and gave him the shirt, and he's like, "Wow, this is cool." But hey,
I'm a collector myself, and before the show, you were showing me around your room. You have a series of Marvel figurines.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself as well a Kiss collector?
Yeah, like I have guitars. I have the toys from the Mego ones, from the 70s, and then the Todd McFarlane ones. And I have those, the stats, it's like a bust of their.
Yeah.
I have those. I have the giant 2-foot tall action figures that if you push the button, it sings the song.
Right.
I have, God, what else? That's Kiss related toys wise. I don't have I don't have any Legos.
Yeah, you're a big Lego fan.
I think guitars, toys. Oh, the comic books. I have any Kiss comic book that was published. I have, and I have the one from the 70s with their blood. I got that one signed by Gene on Kiss Cruise 9, sorry. And I was going to bring it on 10 for Paul, but that didn't work out. I got, hoodies I wouldn't count because clothes I wouldn't count. Trying to think what other Kiss memorabilia I got.
So Jeff, when did you start collecting?
Right off the bat in the 70s, 77, whenever,
Okay.
When the book came out, I bought that. We had the posters, and when we moved, all that stuff got kind of destroyed because it was taped to the wall, and then you take the tape and the tape tore. So I lost a lot of the posters. But between my brother and I, we got, the guitars, and he's got statues, I got statues, but I have the comics, I have the action figures. But yeah, since 7 years old, I've been collecting whatever that I kind of like. If I like the toy, I get the toy. If I like the comic, I get the comic. But there's a lot of stuff like, the coffin. Like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna buy the coffin. Right. No, I'm not gonna buy the coffin. But the Kiss Cruise 10 gift that we got was that album, and I'm like, Oh my God, I gotta put this up in my, my room. because I just put it in a thing, and I'm like, I'll get to it later. And next thing you know, I still haven't done anything with Kiss Cruise 3 stuff,
So if you can choose one item that's your most prized possession, Kiss possession, what would it be?
I would have to say the Washburn Black Diamond guitar and the Swarovski guitar I have. That album that Gene signed for me, giving him the comic book, is pretty cool too.
Yeah,
he was
of course, like, of course.
Yeah. He sees the comedy. He's like, I've never seen this before. Can I have it? I'm like, yeah, sure. She's like, is it one of a kind? I'm like, yeah. Okay, here, give me that album. And he signs the album. He gives it to me. Here's for the comics. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Of course, and Jeff, being such a huge Kiss fan has given you the opportunity to meet fans of all over the place, all over the world when you travel. So can you tell us about some of the fans that you have met in your fandom, some of the most colorful fans that you've met?
Well, a lot of them is from the Kiss Cruise. Going to a concert,
right?
You might bump into people that you know and out of the Kiss realm or whatever, Kiss world. And what's funny is I've met people on the Kiss Cruise that live in Illinois, and they only live like 10 minutes from me. And it's like, I'm like, holy crap. It took me to go 3,000 miles away to meet you when you only live 10 minutes away. And actually, one of them owns a restaurant, and I go there to eat, and we talk and that, and we hang out. And then obviously Kevin Galley is one of the nicest kids that I've met, and I try to talk to him on Facebook. But I'd have to say everyone that I've met on the Kiss Cruise, there's Greg, there's Megan, there's Greg, there's Ant-Man, there's
so many, huh?
Yeah, there's so many. Pasquale, there's just tons. For me, it's people from the Kiss Cruise, and it's funny, I don't know about you guys, but the Kiss Cruise has become almost, I'm talking like maybe that much about seeing that. It's that gap between seeing Kiss and seeing your friends again.
Yeah, true.
First, it was Kiss, and I'm going on vacation. But by the 5th cruise, I had such connection with people on the cruise that it started to becoming more about seeing my friends again, Now it's like, I'm telling you, it's like that much of a gap. Because obviously a vacation, I want to get away from work. I want to get away from home, and I want to see Kiss. But now it's like, I can't wait to see my friends.
Yeah, that's right.
And have fun.
Right. Yeah.
So Jeff, Claudio asked you about, the colorful people that you met in your Kissdom, but you're a pretty colorful person yourself.
Oh yeah.
So I want to get into the meat and potatoes of this episode. We're talking about, your goofy stories. Let's talk about your goofy stories. Now, I'm going to start with the obvious, because I got to tell our listeners, Jeff, every time I think of you, I think of the word moist.
No, you said it wrong. It's moist.
Oh boy, that brings back some memories. Now, where on earth did this come from?
The word moist. It was Kiss Cruise 3. We were on the pub crawl or the bar crawl with oh my God, Andy and there's so many people. And the bar crawl, everyone's drunk off their minds. And then we were leaving, and we were on that, what is it, a tram, whatever, because we couldn't walk because we were on the base. So we had to be on that tram thing or whatever you want to call it. And somebody found a bakery and bought like a chocolate chip cookie that was like the size of a pizza. I'm just huge, right? And they're like, dig in. So really? Yeah. So we're eating the cookie, and it was like right out of the oven, and it was warm and it was gooey and the chocolate was, chocolatey, and everyone, oh, this is delicious. This is gooey. This is chocolatey. And I'm like, it's so moist. And that was it. And the women were cringing and the men were laughing. I'm like, well, what? Do you want to eat a dry cookie? Oh, you want to eat a moist cookie? And again, they're just, cringing. The women are cringing. and then that was it. I mean, it took off from there because then it was like, oh, what's it feel like out today? And it's like, oh, it's hot, it's moist, and then it was like, well, how would you want to eat a cake? Dry? No, you want moist. It's hot. You want to eat it? You want turkey? It's got to be moist. So on the ship, if I saw someone that was on the thing that knew moist, even if it was like they were behind in the hibachi place, I would just what is it? Not I would say it, but just go, and they would see my lips move and say moist, and they're like, "Ooh," or I would pick up behind them and just whisper moist, and ooh, they just hated it. So then they're like, "Okay, next year you cannot say that word." I'm like, "All right, I won't say the word." So I made a shirt.
No way! No way! Right.
And it said on the front. I mean, I could dig it out, but on the front it said, "How do you like your cookies?" And they had some cookies, and then when we went on the pub crawl again, we were supposed to meet at the bar on the ship. So I got there late just to make sure. So I walk in and everyone's reading my shirt. How do you like your cookies? And then I turned around and on the back it said moist. And all I heard was like, "Oh my God. Laughing. And I go, "Hey, you said I couldn't say it. You said I couldn't say it. You didn't say I couldn't wear it." That was it. So I'm wearing a shirt moist. And people are laughing. And then the next year I made another shirt of me making a funny face, like, and then on the front, and I put, "Do I make you moist?"
Oh, wow. You ran all the way.
And I'm wearing that shirt, and, Megan and, oh God, who else? I mean, all the women that I'm having a brain fart about names, but they're just, and I'm like, oh no, Jules, she was like, oh my God, but after Kiss Cruise 5, it died down. I stopped doing it, and I haven't done it. Now and then I'll just go. And what's funny, people expect me to say it, and I won't. Right. And I'm like, what? Well, aren't you going to? Nah, I ain't going to say it anymore. It's old, And then all of a sudden I just go, oh God, I feel moist. And they're like, oh, but
God.
That's where I came up with Mr. Moist.
Yeah. So now that you mentioned that, our good friend Kevin Galley, he's been with us in the show before. He's really close to us, and we know you have some stories with him. Okay. So again, let me just a disclaimer here. Sorry, Kevin. So let's hear some of your funny stories with him, between you and Jeff. So there we go. So what is this about this toilet costume? So there must be a story behind that.
Well, the toilet costume, I've had that for like 15 years or so, and I clean it. I throw it in the washer and dryer, so it gets nice and clean and sanitized. But I bought it. I brought it on Kiss Cruise 3, and everyone, laughing, taking pictures with me, sitting on it like they're taking a poop or peeing or whatever. It's just the funniest costume. And then it really hit big on Kiss Cruise 5 with Chris Jericho. Okay, so then Kiss Cruise 5, it's Halloween. I'm wearing it. Chris Jericho and Fozzy are singing on the pool deck. He sees me, high fives me. Next thing you know, I'm just partying with Chris all night, Halloween, having a great time. And then the next day he sees me at the buffet and he's, "Dude, you're a riot." Takes a picture with me. Flash forward a couple weeks later. "Hey, Jeff, Chris Jericho's talking to you about him on his podcast." I'm like, "What?" And he, on his one podcast where he's talking with the Iron Sheik, he says, there's a guy, he's talking about Kiss Cruise 5 and there's a guy in a toilet, blah, blah, blah. And I tweet him something and he goes, "Dude, I just wrote about you in my book. No is a 4-letter word." And he sent me an autographed copy where he talks about the Kiss Cruise and there's a guy in a toilet costume. And then Chris, he's playing in Joliet, and I go to see him. He tells me to bring the toilet. I bring the toilet. He tells the whole story to the concert crowd, the audience.
Really?
I take a Tim. I take that picture with Chris, and I make a shirt of that. And then he has his cruise, so I wear that shirt, and he's laughing. He's during the Jericho cruise. He stops the concert and says it wouldn't be a cruise without Toilet Boy. Everyone's chanting Toilet Boy. Then so I have like 4 shirts of me and Chris together, where it's a shirt. It's hard to explain. I have the shirt of me wearing the toilet costume. Made a shirt of that. Then I took that shirt and wore it and took a picture with Chris. And then I took a picture of that picture and made a shirt of that. So it's like,
okay.
Right.
Picture of me wearing the toilet. So it's hilarious. So he's like, and then last cruise, he's like, you're going to wear the toilet. And yeah, I got it. And so I take a picture with it. So that's a shirt and a shirt and a shirt. And
wow, man.
Anytime he's around, he just, like a Facebook Live, he'll talk about me, and I'm not even on Facebook. And like, I'll get, my phone will blow up. Chris is talking about you in the toilet. And I'm like, oh,
Again. I love it.
And he told me Chris Jericho Cruise 4, I got to bring the toilet again. So it's just and he puts it on his Instagram or Twitter, and it just explodes with 20,000 likes or something. And
whoa, man!
When the band sees me, they just stop everything and they go, "Hey, Toilet Boy!" and they come and run and give me a hug. They know, but they just I'm Toilet Boy. The big story with Kevin and I is our third roommate with the shower. Kevin and I went snorkeling, and then we came back to the cabin, and I go, do you want to shower first, or I'll shower first? I don't care. It don't matter to me. He said, I don't care. So we get to the cabin, and our third roommate is in the shower. So I'm like, well, do you want to go next, or I'll go next? I don't care. He said,
okay.
So we're just sitting, waiting, and we hear the running, water running and stuff. And then we start hearing some,
it's a family show.
Yeah, I'm trying to hear some noises of happiness.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yes, right. And we're like, what is he doing in the shower? Is he?
Oh my goodness,
doing some self-loving? And then he comes out, and we're like, hey, what's going on? We heard some noises in there. Were you doing some self stuff? And he's, yeah. Dude, not cool. Go back in there and clean that shower up. But the funniest part of that story is I'm up in the buffet that year and the next year telling the story more detailed with more audio stuff.
Okay.
Right.
And for 2 years, they thought it was Kevin in the shower.
Oh no! My God!
So they're like, "That's the guy that was in the shower," and I'm like, "No, it was that guy." That's the funniest part. It's like for 2 years, everyone thought it was Kevin in the shower.
The stories don't end. You told me something about some incident in the haunted house on the cruise.
Oh, okay. So Halloween, the cruise had a haunted house.
Yeah.
And I work at a haunted house. My character is a baby, and I pop out, or I have many different skits, and one of them is like, "Will you be my mommy?" And they go, "No," and then I go, "Why won't you be my mommy?" And they're like, "Holy, So I use my size and my voice to scare people. So I know how to run a haunted house. So when I went through, I wore my toilet costume.
Oh no.
So the people were trying to pop out and scare us, but instead of they pop out and they'd see it and they were busting out laughing. And so I kind of ruined the haunted. I mean, I didn't ruin it, but instead of all the people trying to scare us, everyone was laughing and laughing and laughing. Because they're like, it's a toilet. What the. And so there were some people that behind us were kind of upset that, hey, I wanted to get scared, and they're just sitting there laughing about your toilet.
Oh, wow.
So, Shut up, you're a whiner. But yeah, the toilet costume. Well, for me, for other people it ruined it, but for me it made it funny because when you get a person popping out going, blah, and then they just bust out laughing, that's a fun time for me.
That's funny. That's funny. Hey, you had you told us already stories with Chris Jericho. You met many celebrities in the cruise, and I think we heard something about 3 a.m. With Chip from Enough's Enough. So can you tell us about that?
That story was Kiss Cruise 6, and I met them actually at the airport in Chicago. I always fly down the day before in case of mechanical problems or weather. So luckily I did that because our flight was delayed 6 hours.
Oof.
So I wind up drinking and eating with them. And I remember people like, what's going on? What's going on? And I just went, I call BS. You owe us food because it's been 5 hours. And yeah, you're right. So I got us food for everyone that was fighting and that the flight was delayed. So I wind up, bonding with the band and then hanging out with them after their concerts. And then one night it was like 3 a.m. and I was hungry and I'm walking around. I knew where to go, the 8th floor. And next thing you know, I hear, hey, Jeff. I'm like, and I turn around, it's Chip. I go, hey, what's up, Chip? Because I'm hungry. I'm like, hey, come with me. And we go to the 8th floor, we're eating hot dogs, hamburgers, wings. And since we're both from Chicagoland area, we're talking about Bozo the Clown and Wizzo and Cookie. Yeah, so Chip and I were eating hot dogs and hamburgers, whatever, talking about Bozo, Cookie, and Wizzo, and Chicagoland stuff. So, yeah, you guys wouldn't understand it. But, well, then sports, so Cubs, Sox, whatever. And he's a cool, down-to-earth guy. And I just was with him 2 weeks ago on a Saturday. He played out by me, and I wind up hanging out with him after the fact. And, it's like he treats me like a regular guy or whatever. Like him, the whole band will just see me and come and give me a hug and be like, how's it going? And we just talk like normal people. It's not like, oh my God, you're a big rock star, and it's you know what I mean?
Yeah, got it.
And that's the same thing with Chris Jericho and the band Fozzy. It's just they treat me like actually they treat me like a rock star because like when their like Fozzy's concerts or Chip's concert were over, I would get a tap on the shoulder and like, oh, okay, and then I would go backstage,
Nice.
So it's pretty cool. Like Kevin's got that with Eric Singer. Hey, okay, go. I have that with Chip and Fozzy, so
love it.
Yeah, man. I haven't really told many funny stories. I'm trying to.
You have so many, man.
Tell me about it.
I mean, I got the shower, I got the toilet, and I got moist. But like some of the funniest stories are just me up in the buffet, holding court, I guess would be, where I'm telling them my bad date stories. And I'll have a group go from 4 people to like 12 to 16 people listening to me tell stories about my bad dates on the cruise. And that got to 6-man, which you, Pasquale, know that I got voted the Kiss Clown.
Yeah.
Oh, were you? Okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
I've been asking anybody and everybody, does anybody have video of the announcement? Because when she said it, I was just like, holy crap, I won, and from what I understood, I talked to a couple 6-man people that I got the most votes out of all the categories. And the funny way they voted was either they knew my name or they said the guy with the toilet costume.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay. The signature. Your signature.
Well, Jeff, listen, we're gonna wrap it up soon.
Okay.
But I want our listeners to know that yes, you're a crazy fun guy with a lot of crazy stories, these crazy things that happen to you. But there's also a serious side to Jeff. So I want to hear some of your seriousness. I want to hear some of your perspectives or opinions on some Kiss-related issues. So, for example, what are your thoughts about a possible Kiss 2.0? Why?
No work. It just won't, because it's not Kiss. It's not Gene. It's not Paul. And if you say three, like, okay, you go back, you replace Peter. Peter wasn't the main Kiss guy. He sang what? Beth, Hard Luck Woman, Black Diamond. He wasn't the main attraction. It was Paul and Gene. And then, and then Ace. When they replaced Ace, it was just like, that was big for me. I was like, man, when I saw Creatures of the Night and I saw the new makeup, I was like, why did Ace change his makeup?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But so Ace quit or fired or whatever. So if you replace Paul or Gene, that's it. It's done. I mean, you put, I don't know, who would you put to be a replacement for, even if it was Evan and Nick, as Paul as the star child and the demon, it's just not going to work.
Yeah. Okay.
When Kiss ends, when Paul and Gene call it quits, that's it.
That's it.
I mean, Eric are great guys, but to put them with two other guys, it's pointless. It's just, for me personally, it would not be Kiss. Now, do people say Tommy and Eric aren't Kiss? Tommy and Eric, I think, are more technically better than Peter and Ace now. I love Ace. I'd love to see Ace do a comedy act because some of his funny stories. But yeah, when Paul and Gene call it quits, that's it. There's not going to be if there is a Kiss 2.0, it will not work.
Right. Peter, next question: how do you feel about Ace and Peter maybe being on the final concert?
I would love that. Have Peter come out, sing Beth, and then play on Rock and Roll All Night, and then have Ace come out and sing Shock Me, and then obviously Rock and Roll, kind of like the Unplugged. That would be amazing. I don't know if they'd be in makeup. It'd be kind of odd for them to be in the makeup. How do you do that? But yeah, for them to, I would love to see everybody. Bruce come out.
Yeah.
Vinny to come out, which I know would be like, but he was in Kiss, have him come out, even though he was handed the world from Gene, but he wanted more, and he was just, because Vinny's a very talented writer and guitar player, but he's in the head,
He's part of history, yeah? So,
yeah.
That's right.
I think for him to come out and play, not Lick It Up. I can't stand Lick It Up, but that would be the song they probably have him play on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really wish Kiss would do more, what's the word? Tribute to Eric Carr. Somehow, they have the video montage and he's on it. And Kiss Cruise 6, I heard, I don't know if it's true, that Kiss got permission for Eric Singer to put the makeup on for the cruise. And I get it that Eric Carr should be the only one that wear the makeup, but I still feel that Kiss should honor Eric Carr somehow more than they do. Like on the cruise, they could do a cup of him or something. I just feel like, I think a lot of fans would love to see Kiss honor Eric Carr more.
Mm-hmm. The Kiss cruise, you've been to all 10, right?
No, first one was 3.
Okay. So
I missed 1 and 2 because I couldn't get off of work.
Okay, so in your opinion, in terms of how the Kiss cruise has progressed for you from 3 to 10, has it gotten better or worse?
A little bit of both, but it's like Kiss Cruise 3 for me will always be the favorite because it was my first one. They played The Oath live, and then like my whole persona, I guess, was created with Moist and the toy. But and then then you got Kiss Cruise 5 was great with Fozzy, and 6 with Creatures. But like the ports of call, but is that a big deal? To some people, yes. Some people, no. Last time I didn't even get off the ship because I've been to those places, and then I heard the whole Corona mask wearing stuff was just, I'm like, I'm not going to even bother. Kiss Cruise 9 was Jamaica. That place was a dump. But there's good and bad. I mean, they've gotten some really good bands, and then, but it was weird. I don't know about for you. Kiss Cruise 10 felt like it was the first cruise.
Right.
Like I said, there was just something off about it, and we're like, well, what's off? And it was like, there's people not here. People decided not go. People from Europe and all over couldn't make it. But it's gotten, like I said, it's gotten better with some aspects, with different bands and different songs they play. And then it's gotten not as good because of the ports of call they've gone to.
Right.
And, and then the price keeps going up and up and up. And then you lose the picture with Kiss. And that's a big bummer.
Yeah.
I'm not like, if you do it for me, the Kiss Cruise is obviously it's a vacation away from work. I'm seeing my friends again, and I'm going to see Kiss. I don't let all the little bad negative things get to me, because I'm just going to go. I drink, I party, I eat, and I joke around. And it's kind of funny. People keep going, do you have any more bad date stories for us?
Okay, so we're wrapping up now, Jeff and Pasquale. So first of all, we want to thank everybody who comment on our YouTube channel and Instagram page. We read everything that you guys write to us, and your comments. So we're really happy to have your feedback. And we want to thank the Kiss Army Things, BFGS Productions, Mr. Anschalt, right?
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
Anschalt. And then the great Len D'Alessio, Rolla Brown, our dear friend, and Andrew Scambati, James Campion, and of course, Rob Galavis. So thank you guys for always being there and support our podcast. And, I'm going to take the opportunity, Jeff, to, thank you so much, for sharing all the stories. It's been a lot of fun. And we can't wait to see you at Kiss Cruise 11. It's going to be a blast. And, such a big, Kiss fan and a member of the community that brings joy. On the contrary of being fighting and, arguing for stuff that doesn't make any sense. It's all about having fun. So thank you so much, Jeff.
Well, thank you for having me on. This is an honor for me.
No, but Jeff, this is the epitome of what this podcast is about. It's about fans like you sharing their stories, sharing their experiences with the band and other fans, And if you could bring a smile to people's faces with your stories, you've done your job. So, Jeff, on behalf of Claudio and myself, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me. Great seeing you guys. I can't wait to see you guys on Kiss Cruise 11.
We will.
I hope so. And to the Kiss Army, thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. And remember, never stop rocking. Take care, everyone. The Kiss Army Nation podcast has partnered up with Click T-Shop to offer our listeners a high-quality t-shirt with graphic design by Xander Graphics. Check out Click T-Shop at clickteeshop.com.